Okay, this is Jacob Schmitt with DeerHuntingSchool.com looking at another aerial photo here, piece of property. Guys, this is actually a piece of public land property. The person that sent me the email or that sent me the message said it's not really hunted heavily, and because it's a bow hunting only, which is a plus. But public land still gets hunted usually pretty good. Depending on the time of the year and stuff. But I've had some questions about, just kind of a couple questions he had, and made some comments and stuff about the property. The first thing, these field tiers from agriculture going on here in the area. There's all kinds of there's all kinds of trees, wooded area around it as well. Pretty good large size big woods. So it's got a lot of area to it. It's a pretty good size area, decent. What I call decent, I guess. It's the area is really it's under 1,000 acres, so it's not huge as far as being public land, but it's decent size. You got potential, holding a couple, a couple pretty good mature bucks on it. It does have that potential. What I want to, the main thing when I first look at the property, guys, when I look at aerial photos, first thing I look for is funnels. Things like that. I mean, there's funnel here, and it's just a bottleneck where it bottlenecks the deer down, guys. I've got plenty of videos on that. I'm talking about funnels, drawing them out. You got these funnels here. Now, I know he's talking about this area here, but he says he's going to start scouting this area. So I want to talk about it a little bit too. You've got these funnels. You've got these points that come out into these fields. You've got a funnel right here. Let's zoom in on it. You've got this funnel here. You've got this here. Probably using that as a funnel a little bit. You've got a funnel here. Okay, and it's pretty wide. This is a pretty wide funnel, though. Let me measure that out. I always like measuring it in yards. Just when you're bow hunting. He says avid bow hunter, so he bow hunts only. I mean, that funnel there, you're not going to be able to shoot plumb across. It's 125 yards, right, give or take a little. You're not going to be able to shoot plumb across it like you would this area here. If you get it set up right, easy. I mean, 30 yards, that's a gravy shot. If you're in the center of it, you're talking 15 yards on each side. This funnel here, and I know that's a trail, but yeah, in the center of that, you're looking at a 40-yard shot on both sides. I don't know how much you shoot your bow. That's a tough shot, but you probably not going to look for that shot. But them are funnels. The other thing about the area is a couple comments he had made about the food sources. Guys, I just want to recommend the Tyler. I just honestly want to recommend my timing mature rutting bucks or mature bucks on public land or on mature pressured bucks. Food sources, they change throughout the year, and you've got to be on top of it and be moving around with the deer, because these are cornfields, I guess. When they cut them cornfields, I mean, yeah, there's some food there left, and the corn is only there at a small period of the year. Once they cut, and I think the main reason deer will use the cornfield, I mean, yeah, it's a food source, but they use it for bedding area a lot more than people realize, and a food source. Okay, but once they cut it, they take most of the corn with them, and the deer they're going to feed on something else. And understanding that is going to be tough. You're really going to have to get in here and scout and find some other food sources around here. they don't necessarily have to be oak trees. I'm sure there's some oak trees in this 1,000-acre property that's producing some acorns. I don't know where, without getting in and walking it. I know you said a lot of these trees are young trees, really thick, and I don't see any type of logging activity which would open up, some very good browse. But another thing, deer are browsers. They're not like cattle. They're not grazers. They're browsers. They like a variety of food. They'll eat even when the cornfields. These are cornfields. Even when these things are food sources, whatever fields, and there's some agriculture area going on here. Even when these areas are, they're the primary food source of the deer. They're still going to browse. I mean, that's the nature of a white-tailed deer. They're browsers. So getting on here and scouting it out and finding some areas, and then the funnels. I pointed out the funnels to you. Them are good areas of interest to look at during certain times of the year, and hunting them things at certain times of the year. If you don't get the timing right, that's why I recommend the timing. Mature pressured bucks. That video course. It's a PowerPoint presentation. I go through and explain some things, and then I actually go through and basically demonstrate an entire hunting season, as a demonstration. You have to use some common sense with it, because depending on where you live, depending on what you're going to be feeding on at different times and stuff like that. But I give a perfect demonstration on that, because what happens is you've got deer feeding one area, and they're using one area, and then they start using other areas as food sources change throughout the year. The other problem is you have hunting pressure, and guys, it does not take very much pressure at all to alter deer movement. A lot less than people realize. I mean, a very lot less than people realize. If one person will alter the deer, especially if they don't understand how to hunt the wind, and they're hunting the spots at the wrong time, they will push the deer into a nocturnal state where when the deer do use it, they're nocturnal. They're using it during the night. Especially the mature deer, the older deer. Now your younger deer, of course, I mean they're not as apt to be nocturnal. But if you don't get that stuff right and you hunt areas when the timing is wrong, it's going to really push the deer to a nocturnal state when they do start using that area. They pick up on it a lot better. They pick up on human presence as danger, especially on public land where it's pressured. And I know bow hunting, areas that's bow hunting only is a lot better as far as hunting pressure, but one human being on 1,000 acres is what I consider lightly hunted. When you get 3 or 4, that's moderately hunting in my opinion. And when you get over 5 to 10 people hunting 1,000 acres, that's getting into heavily hunted, heavily pressured areas. It's that, and we're talking with people that, because the problem with public land is you've got all kinds of people hunting it. Now you take 10 people could hunt this very easily, or you could take 20 people that knew exactly how to hunt the wind and timing and things like that. They could hunt this property very easily without pressuring these deer and without altering these deer movement, because they're only going to hunt the right spots at the right time and only when it's perfect. And the problem is on public land is you have people out there. Some guys have never even deer hunted. They're just walking out through the woods. I met a guy. I was shooting my bow one day. He was telling me he was a pro staffer, and he was actually shooting videos and stuff. And I seen the guy where we were hunting, and I said, man, it was like the second or day of bow season or opening morning. Or it may have been opening morning of bow season of this year. And this guy's supposed to be a pro staffer, and he said, I said, man, how was your hunting? He said, well, I hiked a half a mile out in the woods, out, way out. So, thought it'd be, good. I seen a glimpse of a deer. But, the problem is I'd never been back in there. So what this guy done, and he said it was hard for me to find a spot in the middle of the dark. This guy had never been back in this area, walked a half a mile, popped up a stand in a tree, and was hunting. That is the kind of stuff that on public land happens, and it alters deer very quick and pushes them into a nocturnal state in certain areas. That is why, I can't say it enough. I mean, guys, I'm just going to be honest with you. I have been a salesperson since I was a teenager. But, that is and I'm trying to sell these videos to people, and I keep saying it because, guys, you have to know that stuff. You have to know how to hunt pressured land, and you have to be able to understand what the hunting pressure does to the deer. And if you don't understand that, you're going to have a difficult time hunting any public land. And if you don't understand timing, you're going to have a difficult time, hunting any land if you're hunting there at the wrong time. And if you don't understand how to hunt the wind, you're going to be putting more pressure on the deer and making them more nocturnal. All these plays in effect. And then, guys, I've got other courses that's coming out as of right now making this video. They're the only 3 courses I have. I've just really started putting the courses together and stuff, and I have several others I'm going to be putting together that are must-know courses. And, you can learn all the stuff without getting the courses, but it's going to take you an unbelievable amount of time. And that is the problem with public land like this. Tyler, this area, not 1,000 acres, probably does hold a couple mature bucks on it. And most people that hunt it have no chance at killing one of them bucks. If it's bow hunting only, there are very few people that will ever hunt this land that has a chance at killing one of them mature bucks. Unless it's just sheer luck, and that's during the rut when he just happens to come by one of their stands, things like that. The funnels are good at certain times. I pointed them out for you. And even funnels coming off of other properties onto this property, and catching deer going off of the property at different times, depending on the pressure and stuff. And here's one of them funnels that's coming all onto the property and off the property right here. Okay, the deer will cross the road. They're not scared to cross that road at all. They're not scared of vehicles. They get hit by vehicles all the time. But that's a funnel there, and you can look at it. And there's some other funnels. I don't remember exactly where the property line is. But you got this up here. I think this is off the property, but these are funnels. There's just bottlenecking them deer down. Funnels, pinch points, stuff like that are awesome for bow hunting. Being on the food source at the right time is awesome for bow hunting. Being on rub lines, things like that at the right time is awesome for bow hunting. But there's a time for it, and there's a time for everything. There's a time for these cornfields. Problem is on public land, fields are, probably after the first couple days of the season, any type of field that is not a cornfield that's very tall that can give deer cover is pretty much useless after the first couple days usually. And that's just the cold hard truth about it, because it takes very little hunting pressure to alter deer's movement. I can't pinpoint some stands on this. You definitely need to get in here and scout and look for some other food sources. And just to put it in short, how to do that is scout this place at different times of the year. Okay, scout it, in the winter. I don't know when y'all's bow season ranges, but bow hunting is prime because a lot of times you can hunt the winter. And the thing is, in the winter, you don't have very many food sources. when you find a food source in the winter, you've nearly found all the deer. That's a huge tip right there that I just gave you. And if you scout in the winter, you'll be able to find them food sources a lot easier. They're going to be well noticeable. They're going to be tore up with tracks. They're going to be tore up. They're going to be greenery, different types of food sources in the winter. That's a huge, huge, huge tip. I don't know how your hunting season is in your state, but you know, scout at different times of the year and figure out what them deer are doing at them different times, and finding multiple food sources. Deer have a diet that is huge. I'm talking they eat all kinds of stuff. They will eat twigs, buds off of trees. They eat all kinds of stuff. They are browsers. They walk through the woods. They'll eat whatever. They'll eat leaves off of trees. Guys, they'll eat the daggone pine needles to keep from starving to death. It's just the way it is. They have a huge diet. Anything to keep them alive, you know, in the winter and stuff like that. But if you find good food sources in the winter, you have nearly found all the deer in the area. Tyler, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope it helps you out. Get in there, do some scouting, and this other area that you were talking about scouting, I should have looked at the property line better, because I don't know the property line that well. But this, you know, there was two or three areas. The areas you're going to scout, the other area, you know, look for different types of food sources in that area and all around it, and you'll get it. You'll figure it out. And man, bow hunting's awesome. I love to bow hunt. That's pretty much all I do. I'll gun hunt with my wife. You know, things like that. But I love bow hunting. It's awesome, and it's fun. It's intense, and you know, it's a challenge, definitely. Hope you enjoyed the video. This is Jacob Schmitt with DeerHuntingSchool.com. Have a good day, and bye bye.